What's up, y'all? I'm Caitlin Leggett, your favorite digital media, all the things journalist and washed athlete girly. I'm a former volleyball player. This is another episode of maybe the side out. I don't know, we're gonna see. But basically, we're talking volleyball, we're talking Texas and Wisconsin. This is a game from August 31st. It was a doubleheader. I think Penn State and University of Kentucky played after them. But crazy enough, it was a sweep by Texas. But I actually really have the most to say about Wisconsin, so we're just gonna go ahead and kick it off. Texas is under head coach Jared Elliott, and I think the biggest things for this Texas team are that they defended very well. Their defense was top tier, honestly and truly. Like, that kept them in the game. Wisconsin put up a lot of big blocks and they picked up balls extremely well. You have Tori Stafford, I think all around hitting wise, I think she hit like around like a 161 or something like that. I don't think she looked the greatest out of the front row, but all around I think she looked really good. Like, her cohesive game, her digging, her passing, even swinging out of the back row. One thing for this game, both teams, y'all know my word is phenomenal. Both teams swung phenomenally out of the back row. I think they swung better out of the back row than they did out of the front row. Like, them girls was getting up and putting it down. Okay, cool. Also, for Texas, you have Kari Spears, and when I say that girl played lights out, 11 kills, 1 error. Talk to me. Hello? She hit a 400. Talk to me. Yeah, Kari Spears, come to the front and get your flowers. She really like swung hard, like some really aggressive power plays, and I think the team pretty much like rallied around that a lot of the time. It was very impressive. Yeah, and they obviously did what they needed to do. The attacking wise, that was a big thing for them, but also Wisconsin just made a lot of errors on their own, and like they did what they needed to do, like all around. I think they brought Tori Stafford in to kind of improve that serve receive, that passing game. I will say for both sides, you saw a lot of balls tight to the net, and I think that is something that they're definitely going to have to, you know, pull some of those things off, because it's hard. It's really hard for a setter to put up good balls if you're putting her, you know what I'm saying? If you're giving her, you're basically giving the team another point. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a difficult thing, but yeah, that's definitely something that they're going to have to work on. It's just pulling her off literally just an inch so that she can actually get both hands on the ball, not making it so difficult for her. For Wisconsin, under head coach Kelly Sheffield, obviously Wisconsin and Texas are both those teams that, again, we see late into the season, into the postseason. They're in those, you know, Elite Eights, in those Final Four matchups. And do they have, I think both teams have the potential to get there. Well, I know it's early, but y'all, do I think of the two, one will get there? I think we'll see Texas. Wisconsin, I think, has some growing to do. Biggest things for Wisconsin to work on, they honestly screwed their setter a lot. They and granted, like, they were up against some tough swings. Like, Kari Spears was really throwing it down, but with that, you gotta absorb and let it hit your platform. Serve receive as well, absorb, let it hit your platform, because they made it really difficult for their setter Charlie, like, get in a consistent rhythm, giving them good balls. And I think she did a great job keeping a balanced offense. One thing about Wisconsin, they ran a lot of different routes that I think was really cool. Some things that you don't always see, especially in terms of, like, a lot of times when you dump stuff to the back row, it's literally just that. It's your last resort, but they used the back row as a weapon. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Grace Egan, come to the front, get your flowers. Grace Egan, I'm talking about why she was so great to watch was she made plays. Like, one thing I can appreciate, yeah, you got your hitters that, you know, are just a hard swing, that's just hard to block, you know, but then you have your hitters that are just truly smart. And one thing about Grace Egan is she swung from every single position on the court, and she put the ball somewhere different. I'm talking about she's on the right side swinging down the line. She's on the outside swinging into the 4. She's in the back row swinging down. You know, like that right there is a playmaker, like a shot creator. Shout out to Grace Egan. She did her big one. She had 8 kills in the first set. She hit a 400. Like, I'm talking about she was doing her big one, and I love that. I think overall, some of the things that we saw from Wisconsin, blocking, obviously, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were like the number 2, number 1 blocking team last year. So they have some long arms up there. Like, it's a hard thing to get through. And so I think that they were obviously relying on that. But defensively, I think they struggled. I think they struggled to keep balls in system, to again keep that setter out, like off of the net. Like you can't run an offense if you don't have serve receive, and that's one thing that we learned in volleyball anywhere. Another thing, the first set was a battle. Pretty much all 3 sets I think were a battle, but the first set in particular, they came back off of a deficit when it was set point. And they rallied back to get their own set point. They still ended up losing 29-27. But I like that fight, that grit in a team that, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not getting down no matter what. Along with that, though, you cannot have a service error on a set point. It's just, that is a scenario, and obviously nothing, and they're playing, like, Wisconsin is playing in their territory. Nothing can prepare you for game scenarios like being in a game. That just is what that is. But as many times as you can practice, like, you have to get that through your head that yes, you want to serve tough, you want to serve aggressive, but you just cannot have a service error on a set point. Like, you gotta have it. You gotta keep the ball in play. Like, yeah. But along with that, I think that the Wisconsin team did some really aggressive style playing. I think they weren't scared. Again, like, serve receive is really a necessary thing. Like, I think if we look at the stats specifically, they had a total of like 26 attacking errors to Texas's 10. So you have that. And then serve receive, reception errors. And when I say serve receive errors, I'm not necessarily also specifically talking about a shank ball. I'm talking about balls that, as a setter, you want a 3 ball, a ball that allows you to set all 3 or 4 or however many options that you have on the court. But to pin your setter to where she's maybe pushed all the way over to the outside so she can only set the outside, or to pin her all the way over to the right side, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were just a lot of things in transition that made it difficult for Charlie Fair really, you know, like, have a spread offense. But I think that she did a great job with what she was given. So hats off to her. I think she did a phenomenal job. Y'all know phenomenal is my word. But yeah, I think that they did what they needed to do in terms of getting the ball to where it was lucrative, and Grace Egan was putting the balls away. Obviously, like, there were some other names that we saw in there that started to get going, I think, a little later on in the sets, but Grace Egan was, I mean, a constant. So hats off to her as well. I'm excited to see, again, like, a lot of these teams play later on, you know, in the postseason or in the season, because I just think they're only going to get better, and so that's super exciting. But this has just been my little rant, my take on the Wisconsin v Texas. Again, Texas swept them in 3. Great game to watch. Let me know what other games you want to hear about, you want to yap about. I'm always down for the crown. And make sure you like and subscribe. Okay, love you guys.